In this video, I show you how to build this super heavy-duty outdoor dining table. I also show you how to waterproof it using a propane torch, and I built it from about 19 8-foot 2x6s using just a miter saw and a drill. My first step is cutting 8 pieces at 4 feet, and I'm actually cutting just under 4 feet, so that way I can get 2 even pieces out of each 2x6. Now for aesthetics, I'm cutting the corners on all of these pieces. This of course is optional, I just like it for appearance. But a helpful tip here, I don't always measure this, sometimes I just find a spot on the miter saw that I move the board to that's easy to line up, and that's what I use for a marker for where to cut. Next I have to cut out 6 pieces at 27.5 inches. Now for assembling the table legs, it's pretty easy. Basically what we do is we sandwich those shorter pieces in between 4 of the 4-foot pieces. And you can probably see here what I meant earlier about cutting the corners for aesthetics. I like how they kind of taper in towards those shorter pieces. And the really nice thing about this build, it is incredibly easy to do. All you have to do is screw it together. Although that being said, it really doesn't hurt to add a little bit of exterior rated wood glue, but I think screws would be fine by themselves if you want to do that. Now you should try to make sure that those vertical pieces are as square as possible, but the most important thing you can do is make sure the height is equal across the 4-foot pieces going top to bottom. So that way, even if you make basically a parallelogram or something like that, you do know that you will have a consistent height. One more step for these table legs is I'm adding some adjustable feet. Now of course the adjustment part is nice, but the main reason I'm doing this is because this table will be sitting on concrete. So I just want to limit the amount of water that'll be absorbed into the wood from the concrete, or that might puddle up underneath when it rains. Now for the rest of the assembly, this will be a lot easier if you do it outside. At least I had to because I didn't have enough room in my garage. Now what you'll want to do at this point is take the legs and flip them upside down, because the first 2 stretchers we're attaching will be a lot easier with everything flipped upside down. As for the length of the stretchers, because I have an 8-foot top, these will be 86 inches in length, which will give me a nice 2-inch overhang on either side of the legs. With the top stretchers attaching the 2 legs, we can flip this whole thing over and then now also attach the bottom stretcher. And that's part of the nice thing about this design, how easy it is to align everything for attaching the stretchers. I do want to point out that I probably could have had 2 stretchers on the bottom, or maybe gotten away with 1, but the reason I put 2 is because I want to help support the weight at the top, but I'm also going to use that to help keep things flat. And the way I do that is with more of these 4-foot pieces with the corners cut off. I'm using 3 of these, which will span nicely here. You just want to make sure that Chairs fit in between these. Now for attaching the top, you want to start with your centerpiece, get your 2-inch overhang, and then screw this one in place. After this, for the other pieces, we'll want to use an 1/8-inch spacer just going along and attaching each one. I start on one end, and this makes it a lot easier. After the top is attached to the ends, then I go through and attach it to the middle dividers. And this is kind of like assembling a deck. You probably see me just using one screw on each board. Really, two I think would be the smart approach. I really didn't have enough screws to do that, so I'm just going to see how this does with one. After I had all the top pieces attached, I then threw myself up on top of it and ran around and kind of moved around just to make sure this was going to be strong enough. It was, so that means it's time to burn it with the propane torch. Now, the method most frequently referenced is the Japanese method called shou. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. But basically, you burn the wood until it gets a certain texture. Some people call it an alligator skin finish. So I've noticed that for this with construction lumber, I think I will have to take multiple passes, possibly cleaning up areas with a smaller torch like the knots, because those didn't really burn as well as the non-knotted areas. Now after I'm done burning this, I'm just going to spray it down with the hose. I just want to make sure I didn't accidentally start any nook and cranny or whatever on this on fire and then have the whole table burn up. That being said, something else I wanted to point out is that if you have the right amount of char, this is supposed to be water resistant by itself, just like if you had something like cedar or a wood that naturally resists rot, where, you know, this is just pine, spruce, something like that, construction lumber. All of that being said, I'm going to apply a clear coat anyway because I figure, you know, double protection is nice just to make sure this lasts for a long time. I don't think you're supposed to use something like spar urethane. I've heard that woods like pine and spruce and all that, they expand and contract too much where it'll crack that type of finish. So a penetrating oil, kind of like a Thompson's water seal or something like that, that's what I'm going to try. But I hope this video helped you out. I hope you try building one of these yourself.